Battle lines are drawn on the future of the Iran nuclear deal. Now we wait Donald Trump's verdict.
The Israeli Prime Minister says Tehran has lied big time. Yes, says the British Foreign Secretary, and that's exactly why we need the accord.
Mr. Netanyahu's case was big on dramatics, less big on new information. He didn't show evidence that Iran has lied since signing the accord. What questions would you like to ask Donald Trump about his ties with Russia? Would they be the same as those on Robert Mueller's list? We'll show you what the special prosecutor is looking at.
Also on the programme, are the Lords the guardians of parliamentary sovereignty or a house of unelected wreckers? Right now, the peers stand in the way of the government's plans for Brexit. The White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly, is forced to deny he called Mr. Trump an idiot. A smear, he says, to detract from the great successes of this administration. Get in touch with us, the hashtag Beyond 100 Days.
I'm Catty Kay in Washington. Christian Fraser is in London. Part diplomatic drama, part spy story, part international high-stakes nuclear negotiation. Welcome to today's battle over the future of the Iran deal. The UK is defending the 2015 agreement even after the Israeli Prime Minister made a primetime television presentation revealing intelligence gathered by Israeli spies that he says shows Tehran lied going into the accord.
But there's no evidence in the documents seized by Mossad that suggests the Iranians have restarted the programme since the agreement was signed. And that, says the UK Secretary of State, is exactly why the world needs to stick with it. Mr. Trump will decide by May 12th whether the US withdraws. Here are two differing views.
I have not seen from Prime Minister Netanyahu arguments for the moment on non-compliance, meaning violation from the Iran of its nuclear commitments under the nuclear deal. And again, the nuclear deal was put in place exactly because there was no trust among the parties. Otherwise, we wouldn't have required a nuclear deal to be put in place.
The preeminent terrorist regime of our time, in which its goons chant death to America, death to Israel, this regime had a secret nuclear weapons program, and they're trying, under a very bad deal, to get a nuclear arsenal. They shouldn't get it.
I'm joined now by Karim Sajapur. He's an Iranian-American analyst at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. Karim, we just heard there the Europeans and the Israelis both making their points of view. Now it's up to President Trump. What do you think he's going to do on May the 12th?
I think his instincts are to withdraw from the deal. The replacement of Secretary Rex Tillerson with Mr. Pompeo, the replacement of John Bolton replacing McMaster as National Security Advisor. He's now brought two major opponents of the nuclear deal as part of his national security team. He ran on a platform when he was in the presidential campaign saying this nuclear deal was the worst deal in history. But the paradox of Trump's instincts to withdraw from the nuclear deal are that Iran is likely going to retaliate, which is going to warrant an even greater U.S. presence in the Middle East, which are against Trump's instincts to actually withdraw from the Middle East.
Right, and isn't there also the risk that pulling out of the deal only strengthens hardliners within Iran?
That's absolutely true, in that whenever there is insecurity in a country, it tends to play to the interests of security forces. And the Iranian Revolutionary Guards were also opponents of this deal. They worried that a more integrated Iran would benefit civil society and more moderate forces. So they're actually happy to see this deal unravel, because